So it's not a black box, it's an open box which facilitates understanding and connecting it to your expert knowledge. Also, sometimes we notice that relationships which we knew, obviously, like the first one could be a head grade. So the higher the head grade, the higher recovery is not really linear. This is why we build prescriptive models to optimize, to capture these non-linearities, to quantify them, and be in control. At the end, as the last step, so you build model, you work with a team to develop trust. So the team will go really input by input, explore the relationships. And then the more they trust the system, the more they are convinced to go and really test it in live production. What it boils down to is not a complex machine learning algorithm or models. Operators don't need to see the models. Operators at each point in time need to see what are the planned input parameters, some things which happen upstream that we cannot change. What was the head grade now? What was the throughput rate now? And these are my normal operating practice set points that I'm planning to put in. Once the system is aware of it, the virtual expert, it will immediately spit you output for a prediction. So we expect that at the end of the cycle, in a couple of hours from now, we will get 78% recovery with certain recovery variability. But what else the model is doing, that's why it's not just predictive. It is telling me, Katya, if you change these 9 things to these respective values, they're all the allowed set points that someone has programmed me in, I can get a significant improvement in recovery. So what now I can do, Katya, as an operator, just showing this to me will not change anything, right? I need to trust it. I need to go and sometimes go to another floor and open the valve and do the change when I accept it. And when we see the acceptance rates of these recommendations is 80% or higher, then we can think about really implementing it further and maybe wiring it further into the equipment. But first, we need to work with people. And if people do not understand it, they will never do this. It's complicated, but we wanted to illustrate the emotional journey, because it is nothing else but the emotional journey and earning trust. We ask often, can you do it faster? Like, why there is 4 months? It's 4 months of not really full-time involvement, but we say you cannot build the trust faster. People need to get or to go on a journey. And if we saw at the bottom there is performance, but at the top we tried to illustrate the sentiment from positive to negative of the flotation team as we started. So the baseline was that the team, obviously, there are challenges, there is constant variability, they disagree with targets. How should we deliver stable outputs if everything incoming is completely unstable? When we start a project, of course, the first question is like, how these guys know better my plan that I've been running for 20 years? How can data help here at all? So the sentiment really initially, not always, depends also on maturity of the team and digital and data maturity, goes down. Then we'll never run our plant like this. We will never run this ARs so low because our target is considerably higher. But then slowly but steadily, once you go through the process of aligning people, of explaining them, of doing the tests of maybe one variable at a time, there are questions like, oh, you know what, the model is predicting well. Maybe I should figure it out. Let's go and test it. Let's only test one variable at a time. All the way through, this new way of looking at things seems to be insightful. And then they don't tell anything, but at the end you see that people go in a matter of 3 to 4 months from we'll never be doing it like this to actually doing it like this, and then being able to substantiate that this is their decision, it's their opinion, it's their expertise that led them through improved performance.